Emory Tate is one of the greatest American chess minds ever. He used to play RZA at one of our events. So he comes and they play, and no disrespect to RZA, but of course Emory Tate wins. I mean, that's his wheelhouse, you know what I'm saying? RZA's getting ready to go. And I'm like, all right, man, you know what I'm saying? I'll see you in a little bit. Peace, you know what I mean? He's like, yeah. He goes, I've been up for 4 days. I said, what? He said, I've been up for 4 days straight.
Welcome back to The Everyday Stoic with myself, William Mulligan. Today's episode is powered by Huel. Huel is a quick, affordable, and nutritiously complete food with everything that your body needs. Huel has been powering my everyday, from the gym, my workouts, to my running, to my work, to my writing, to looking after my daughter and having that well-balanced life. I just know if I take it with me, whether it's one of their drinks, one of their vitamin drinks, or one of their meals, I know that I'm not going to go to the shops and get some unhealthy snacks or go to a fast food place, wasting a load of money, eating a load of rubbish. I know what I'm getting is good, full of protein, it's nutritiously complete, and it's tasty and practical. You probably get asked this sort of stuff all the time, but it's just huge interest of mine, especially after, I read The Tao of Woe by RZA, and it just like opened my mind. I was like, a lot of these hip hop artists, like in the 90s, like, and I could tell it just from the lyrics, I'm like, these are some of the most intelligent people on the planet. And obviously you've seen that firsthand. Can you recall some of this or kind of explain it?
Oh, yeah. So, the Tate brothers, of course, right? So their father, Emory Tate, is one of the greatest American chess minds ever, probably the greatest Black American chess mind that has ever existed. He used to come do events when I was running Hip Hop Chess Federation. And one particular day, I was thinking about this yesterday. It's funny you mentioned this. Just coming up now. He used to play RZA at one of our events. So he comes and they play. And we have a panel before. He breaks down a lot of stuff on the panel. Him and RZA are vibing. We go, they have this game. And, no disrespect to RZA, but of course Emory Tate wins. I mean, that's his wheelhouse. You know what I'm saying? Later on that day, he's getting ready to go. RZA's getting ready to go. And I'm like, all right, man, you know what I'm saying? I'll see you in a little bit. Peace. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah. He goes, he said something. I don't remember the amount, but I just want to, I'm going to paraphrase right here, but I'm serious. He's like, I've been up for 4 days. I said, what? He said, I've been up for 4 days straight. And I was like, you just played Emory Tate to a contested game? You've been up for 4 days? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, why would you do that? And he's just like, I just want to see how I function. How well can I function without sleep? Bro, that's crazy. And he was just calm. He wasn't bragging. He's just like, I want to see how well I can function without sleep. Imagine you're going to play one of the greatest chess players you may ever come across, and your choice is to just test your resilience by not sleeping before the match. This dude really tests his mental. He really tests his physical and his emotional. And so that's why he can look at RZA's library of beats. It's arguably equal to Tupac's library of rhymes. And what do they have in common? Reading incessantly, right? And testing themselves to see what can bring the best, what can bring the best out of their emotional and mental self. RZA, I've just seen him just have endless matches with people. I've seen, really crazy stuff, man. I think that, the rap artists from 1989 to 1999 is probably the most lyrically dynamic, intercultural, and philosophical scope of hip hop, in a decade.
Yeah, I mean, I love that story. And I was just thinking, I might be wrong here, but RZA, when he was younger, because it seems like a common theme of his is sort of testing himself. I'm sure I remember reading when he was really young, I can't remember the literature it was, but he read something and it's talking about fasting. He's trying to, maybe the first duel or something, he had to fast, and he's like a little kid, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to fast, I'm going to do this. Can you refresh my memory on that?
So I do remember that. I do know what you're talking about. And it's crazy because a lot of that stuff comes from the 5% Nation of Gods and Earths, which is related to the Nation of Islam and Al-Islam. But like, you know, in Islam, like I know in the West, like fasting is this, oh my God, we're all fasting. And it's like, we've been doing it, right? Like, right? Muslims have been doing fasting for so long, right, in various ways. And even in the Christian tradition, you have the fast of Daniel. I still think many Christians do not recognize the fast of Daniel and its value, especially in the West, and especially in America, where eating pork and all this other stuff is such a big deal. But if you're really living a classic Christian way, like where's the fast of Daniel in your life, and how do you, right? But like, RZA, by virtue of his studies of Islam and the vegan paths and Buddhism, I think, was very attracted to fasting. I've known for many years that he's fasted. And like recently these photos have come up of RZA apparently in Mecca, and they're saying that he recently converted to Al-Islam. Like this was in the last few days. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't spoken with him directly, but I do know that back in 2014, 15, 16, whatever, we was doing a lot of work, he was fasting every Ramadan, anyway, just to do it. And he would call me, oh, peace, God, you fasting? Oh, yeah, I'm fasting. We're talking whatever. And I was like, wow, like he's really all in. He'll fast on his own. There was a guy named Anthony T. Browder. He wrote a book called From the Browder Files, probably around 89, 88. And like that book was one of the first books in Black America that talked about fasting. And the book before that would have been Elijah Muhammad's How to Eat to Live. Also talked about fasting. And that's the book in Black America, eating one meal a day. If you ate one meal a day, like from the 40s through the 80s, everybody assumed you were in the Nation of Islam, right? And everybody's, oh man, we're doing man. Malcolm X was doing it a long time ago. Go look up Malcolm X, talk about his diet. He's like, I eat one meal a day and I just drink water and coffee. Bro, he was intermittent fat, right? But like, that will never come up on Huberman Lab. You know what I mean? Just like the cultural roots of those practices in the West are adjacent to Islam. And so that's why someone like RZA is going to be doing that back then, right? But rather than do it as take it on as a task, he took it on as a test, right? And how much will all of our lives be better? Your job will be better on if you take it on as a test and not as a task. Nobody likes doing a task, but you can make a test fun. You get to choose how you approach the test. But the task, you're just like, another drone in Sector 7G just hitting your cog. You know what I'm saying? And life is meant to be much more vibrant than that. And that's why people like RZA, who pursue things like martial arts and chess and different mental and spiritual tests, will have a greater experience on the earth than those that take on their task as their identity. Like that's the sadness, right? When you take on your task as your identity, your task is temporary, your test is forever. And you should come to the test prepared and excited about the grade you're going to get.
If you're interested in any Huel products, the link will be in the description below. Huel has been very helpful in my life, just ensuring I get everything I need. It lines up with my ethics, and it's tasty, delicious, and nutritious, and it's a product I can really get behind. So if you're the same, then I really recommend it.
So Stoicism has made it into hip hop. When you look at all of these lyrics about survival, about patience, about enduring, about waiting until their moment comes, all of these things fall directly in line with Stoic ideals.
If we sat down together, you could keep going through, this song's talking about Taoism, this song's talking about chess, this song's talking about Sun Tzu. I guess the wisdom, it's not being handed to them, it's shining out of them, and it's being passed to other people.